Sergio Perez, the most successful Mexican Formula One race car driver. If you witnessed the latest Monaco Grand Prix, you know how Sergio Perez nailed the entire race. And in this video, we're going to look more closely about the most successful Mexican driver. Hello guys, welcome to F1 Freaks. Started his career with the Sauber Formula One team. He was born on November 23, 1990 in Guadalajara, Jalisco, and started racing cars at the age of 10. He became the first Mexican to drive in Formula One when he made his debut with Sauber in 2011. Perez is known for his aggressive driving style, which has helped him to score points in Sauber and Force India. He's also been involved in a number of incidents on the track, including collisions with other drivers. Sergio Perez is a Mexican driver who has taken first place in 3 Grand Prix in 2020, 2021, and 2022. Sergio Perez is one of the most successful drivers in the history of Formula One. He was born on September 22, 1984, and began driving at the age of 8 when he started racing karts. In 2006, he moved to Europe to race in Formula Renault 3.5 Series, where he became champion 2 years later. In 2008, he made his debut at Formula One with Sauber team, and finished 16th with 1 point behind Giancarlo Fisichella's 9th place finish. Sergio Perez is a Mexican wonderkid. Grew up in the middle of nowhere. He started writing stories at the age of 6 and has been doing so ever since. He became a professional rider at the age of 17 when he won his first competition. This led him to become a successful author, publishing his first book when he was just 18 years old. He's also written for magazines like Elle and GQ Mexico, as well as for Mexican TV shows like To the Point and House of Flowers. Sergio Perez is an award-winning writer who is credited with helping to bridge the gap between Latin America and Europe by writing about life in Mexico City for publications in both regions. Sergio's early youth and motivation for racing. Sergio Perez was born on January 25, 1990 in Guadalajara, Jalisco, and his mother was always supportive of her son's aspirations. Sergio's parents divorced when he was only 4 years old, and he spent most of his childhood with his mother. Sergio grew up in a very humble environment and often helped his family by selling candy as a child. Sergio Perez is one of the youngest drivers to race in Formula One. He started racing at the age of 8 years old and fell in love with it after watching Formula One on television one day. He loved the speed, adrenaline rush, and the thrill that came with it. First steps towards racing and debut in Formula One. If you're a racing enthusiast, you can always take the first steps towards your Formula One debut. Formula One is one of the most prestigious motorsports in the world. The series is ran by the FIA, and it hosts a range of international races. Every year, there are 10 teams and 20 drivers that compete in the series, with each team fielding 2 cars. There are also support races, which have been added to increase the spectator experience. These support races include the GP2, the GP3, Formula Renault 3.5, and Porsche Super Cup, among others. The childhood injury that changed Sergio's life. Sergio Perez, a former high school athlete, was injured while playing football and was forced to quit his dream. But that injury changed his life in many more ways than one. Sergio was an athlete and a football player who loved everything about the game. He became passionate about the sport at an early age and had dreams of playing professionally for the NFL. One day during practice, he took a hit that left him paralyzed from the waist down. Having to give up on his passion of sports is not easy, but Sergio found new passions in writing and photography. Sergio's story is one of resilience and perseverance, after being forced to give up his dreams because of injury. Also guys, if you're loving the content so far, please consider dropping a like and make sure to subscribe. Spending his early years in Canada and the USA. Ever since he was a little boy, Carlos has been able to see the world through his own eyes. He's traveled to many countries in Europe and Asia, and now he is living in Canada. Carlos was born in Mexico, but moved to Canada when he was just 3 years old with his family. He grew up speaking Spanish, but learned English at school and is now fluent. His family decided it would be best for him to be an American citizen because of the educational opportunities available for him there. Carlos is a Mexican citizen who has lived in Canada for more than 10 years, so he can't vote or run for office as a Canadian citizen. His rise to fame after moving back home to Chile. After moving back to Chile, Fernando Alonso found success in his home country. He brought more attention to the nation and became a source of pride for Chileans. He's one of the most successful Formula One drivers in history, with 3 world championships and 2 titles with McLaren Honda F1 team. How Sergio started his career as a youngster in Mexico. Sergio Perez is a Mexican racing driver who started his career in 2004 when he was just 16 years old. In 2007, he won the Formula Renault UK Championship, and in 2008, he became the youngest Formula One driver ever. Sergio Perez biography. Sergio began his racing career at age 16, when he participated in the British Formula Renault Championship. In 2007, he won the championship and became the youngest F1 driver ever. His first race was at Silverstone Circuit in England on July 19, 2007. In 2008, Sergio signed with Sauber F1 team as a test driver and reserve driver for Ferrari, then's newly relaunched F2008 car. He drove for Sauber for 3 seasons before being promoted as a race seat with McLaren Mercedes in 2011, where he stayed until 2014. The story of Sergio's rise to fame from Formula One, Le Mans, and back again. Sergio Perez is a Formula One driver who has won the World Series of Motorsport twice and Le Mans once. He was born in Mexico City, but moved to England at age 8. Sergio Perez's rise to fame began in the British Formula 3 Championship, where he won the championship easily with 6 wins and 3 second places. He then moved to Formula One, where he made his debut with McLaren Honda in 2007 and became an apprentice driver for Renault F1 team in 2008. He was signed as a full-time race driver for Force India F1 team in 2009. The reasons behind Sergio's successful career so far. Sergio Perez is a professional racing driver from Mexico who currently drives for Red Bull. He's been in the F1 circuit since 2011 and has already won 2 races in his career. Sergio was born on October 4, 1988, to parents who were both involved in motorsports. His father was a race car driver and his mother was a mechanic. Let's look at how some of the things that led to Sergio's success so far, how he managed to achieve it despite being from a small country with limited resources. In Sergio's early life, he spent time in different racing series. His father would take him to the racetracks, and Sergio would race cars with toy cars and other children. He also learned how to fix engines by watching his father work on them. This gave him a sense of responsibility for himself at a young age. At this point, he was very competitive at racing. Sergio always had a strong work ethic and ambition. At age 6, he would go into his dad's place of work during the day and then would go race together on fairgrounds. Sergio's father encouraged him to pursue racing seriously, so his family sent him to attend a driving school in Mexico City when he was 8. This was when he realized that racing wasn't just about driving fast, it was about teamwork, leadership, which Sergio found to be a new challenge for him. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you now know the story of Sergio Perez. We'll see you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.